Welcome back to my channel. If you've ever picked up a nickel dated 1987 or 1988, you probably didn't give it a second thought. Most people don't. These coins feel too modern, too common, and too ordinary to matter. But that assumption is exactly why collectors quietly pay attention to these years while valuable examples slip by unnoticed every single day. The 1987 nickel is a coin that has been circulating for decades, and because of that, most examples today are heavily worn. Jefferson's portrait often looks flat. The steps on Monticello are usually weak or completely gone, and the surfaces are covered in scratches and marks from years of use. That's why collectors don't just look for the year, they look for condition. A 1987 nickel with strong detail, clear lettering, and original mint luster immediately stands out because it's far scarcer than people realize. Strike quality is especially important on this year. When you examine a 1987 nickel, look closely at Jefferson's hair, cheek, and jawline. Sharp details matter. On the reverse, check Monticello carefully. If the steps are clear and well-defined, that nickel becomes far more desirable to collectors who specialize in quality examples. Errors are another major reason collectors search 1987 nickels so carefully. Look closely at the date and the lettering. If the numbers or letters appear doubled, thicker than normal, or slightly offset, that could indicate a doubled die. Die cracks are also something to watch for and often appear as raised lines running through the design. Die chips can show up as small blobs of metal where they shouldn't be, and these minting mistakes can add real interest. That off-center strikes are another thing to check for. If the design is noticeably shifted and part of the rim or lettering is missing, that nickel instantly becomes more than just 5 cents. Broad strikes, where the coin lacks a proper rim, and planchet flaws that cause uneven or rough surfaces are also details collectors look for. Now move on to the 1988 nickel. At first glance, it seems just as ordinary, but the reality is very similar to the 1987. Most 1988 nickels have seen heavy circulation, and clean, well-struck examples are becoming harder to find every year. Collectors search for coins with strong strikes, minimal marks, and original surfaces that haven't been damaged or altered. When checking a 1988 nickel, pay close attention to the overall strike and surface quality. Look at the lettering around the rim, the sharpness of Jefferson's features, and the details on Monticello. A nickel with strong detail and even a hint of original luster deserves a second look because it's not common anymore. Errors also appear on 1988 nickels, and these are the coins collectors really want to find. Doubling in the date or lettering, die cracks running through the design, clipped planchets where part of the coin is missing, and off-center strikes all add collector appeal. Some nickels show striking issues where parts of the design appear weak or incomplete, and those can stand out clearly when compared to normal examples. One of the biggest mistakes people make with nickels from these years is cleaning them. Cleaning removes the original mint surface and can instantly destroy collector value. Even if a nickel looks dark or dull, it's always better to leave it exactly as it is. Collectors value originality far more than shine. Good lighting makes a huge difference when checking nickels. Tilt the coin under the light and watch how the surface reflects. Use a magnifying glass if you have one. Look closely at the edges of the letters, the rims, and the texture of the coin. Many valuable nickels are missed simply because people don't slow down and examine these small details. Right now, 1987 and 1988 nickels are still hiding everywhere. In jars at home, old drawers, bank rolls, collections that haven't been touched in years, and everyday pocket change. Dealers and collectors quietly pull the best examples whenever they find them. And once those coins enter collections, they rarely return to circulation. That means the opportunity window slowly shrinks over time. The more people spend these nickels without checking them, the fewer high-quality and error examples remain available. By the time most people realize what to look for, the best coins are already gone. Before you spend another nickel, slow down and check the date. Take a close look at your 1987 and 1988 nickels. One small detail, a strong strike, a doubled letter, a crack in the die, or simply an unusually well-preserved surface, could turn an ordinary 5-cent coin into something collectors would be happy to pay more to own. Knowing what to look for now puts you ahead of the crowd, and that awareness can make all the difference.